Review copy provided by PlayStation. Naughty Dog has made their PC debut, with the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection coming to Steam and the Epic Games Store on October 19th. Ported by Iron Galaxy, this collection includes PS4 originals Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and the standalone expansion The Lost Legacy, equating to about a full day's worth of pure action-adventure goodness. While I played these games on my PC with an RTX 3070 and Ryzen 7 5800X, my esteemed colleague and Steam Deckspert, Jake, checked out how they ran on the Steam Deck. So let's find out if the PC port of the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection is anything to write home about. This collection originally released on PS5 back in January, consisting of enhanced ports of the original PS4 games with 4K and 1440p resolutions, higher frame rates of 60 and 120 FPS, 3D audio, DualSense controller features like haptic feedback, and fast load times. Other than these additions, they're the exact same games on PS4, minus the multiplayer from Uncharted 4, which is a bummer to see missing on PC too. However, the single-player modes of both titles are enough to make the package worth it, as they are riveting adventures with great storytelling, fun characters, and enjoyable gameplay. But do these experiences translate well to PC? Performance-wise, I've had a mostly smooth experience, albeit with some minor hiccups. For one, the game would crash if I tried to play at 4K Ultra settings, but Nvidia DLSS 2.0 prevented this and boosted the frame rate in this fight scene from around 45 to 75, upscaled from 1440p. And as you can see, the image quality looks really good. The only noticeable downgrade is that the texture quality doesn't appear to be as high when zoomed in, but it still looks great nonetheless. I even got similar looking results with AMD's alternative FSR, even if the frame rate wasn't as much better as it was on DLSS. I generally stuck with the native 1440p resolution myself on my primary monitor, and it's worked great. I've only noticed a couple of brief frame rate dips when levels were loading between areas or cutscenes. I didn't have the game's built-in frame rate counter on too much, but I turned it on during the Prison Break gunfight and semi-open world driving section. The Prison Break averaged around 80 to 90 FPS for me, and the driving section around 70 to 75, and I was more than pleased with these results. When comparing PC's visuals to the PS5 version, not much has changed. I struggled to tell the difference when comparing native 4K footage on the PC to the PS5's fidelity and performance modes. I thought the shadows might at least look better like they did in the PC port of God of War, but they appeared the same as they did on PS5 in fidelity mode. So there aren't any significant graphical upgrades on PC, but I don't really think there needs to be. These games already looked incredible when they released on the standard PS4, and they still look incredible on PC, only now with higher frame rates and mouse and keyboard controls. Speaking of which, I played the majority of both games with a mouse and keyboard, as that combo is perfect for the shooting sections. Aiming is quicker and accurate with a mouse, and I easily got more headshots this way. And while I wouldn't say climbing and traversal was better or worse on the mouse and keyboard, it still felt smooth as ever. I also tried out the Xbox and DualSense controllers, and they worked fine as well, with the DualSense even having the same rumble and haptic feedback features as PS5. More of a reason for PC owners to get a DualSense, or even a DualShock 4, as the collection is also compatible with that. Furthermore, for the second time in Uncharted history, the series is now playable on a handheld, that being the Steam Deck. Jake made an entire video detailing how the game performs on the deck, but to summarize, it's okay. The game is a cinematic adventure, and it doesn't translate too well to that smaller screen, with strange artifacts appearing around characters' heads. The performance runs at around 40 FPS, but you could always turn on the 30 FPS cap in the settings for something more stable. So if you want to know more about how the collection is on Steam Deck, check out Jake's in-depth video on the channel. If you've never played Uncharted, you're in for a treat, as Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy are some of the best action-adventure titles from this past console generation. These games have players assume the role of treasure hunters as they scout the globe in search of lost pirate gold in Uncharted 4 and an ancient Indian artifact in The Lost Legacy. The three pillars that make up Uncharted are climbing, gunplay, and story. Climbing plays a key part in traversal as you'll trek dangerous mountaintops and dark caves in order to progress. Sometimes things will go wrong and you'll find yourself trying to climb a collapsing pillar. Set pieces like these are the definition of cinematic. Between these sections are wild gunfights with soldiers after the same treasure. This is no mere cover-based shooter, though there is cover and there is shooting. Climbing can be an advantage here by using buildings to protect against bullets. It can also be handy during stealth as you sneak around enemies from above or below. Mixing in the grappling hook during battle can creatively shake up the fight, and it really makes you feel like Spider-Man, if he had guns and killed people. Finally, there's the story, and though Uncharted isn't written to be as serious or emotional as The Last of Us, it still has a lot of heart, with incredibly likable characters and dialogue that is sometimes so cheesy that you can't help but appreciate it.
Know what I love about partying with a bunch of crooks?
What's that?
Nobody cares if you smoke indoors.
But with Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy being the most recent entries in the series, you might be wondering if you can jump right into this collection without having played the previous 3, or 4 technically. After all, Uncharted 4 is the last entry in the series, with The Lost Legacy being set shortly after. So would you miss out on any important story elements here? Well, you would, but it wouldn't be that detrimental to understanding the plot of these games. The Lost Legacy is mostly standalone and focuses on side characters Chloe and Nadine, so there's nothing anyone would miss from not playing the first 3 or 4 Uncharted games. And although Uncharted 4 does make some references to previous games, the story is straightforward enough to where you won't need to know much about them. The only downside to not having played the entire Uncharted series is that some players won't feel the full impact of Uncharted 4's ending, as it accounts for the full journey. As it is, I liked Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on PC a lot. It certainly helps that it's already a great collection consisting of 2 amazing games, and it translates almost perfectly to PC. Though there isn't much in the way of improved graphics from the original console version, features like DLSS and FSR make the game run smooth while also looking great. Plus, the mouse and keyboard controls feel right at home in Uncharted, and that can't be said for every PlayStation game ported to PC. If you already have Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on PS5, it's not worth jumping over to PC for those minimal graphical improvements, but if you haven't touched any of these games in a long time, or at all, then this collection is absolutely worth picking up. Thank you so much for watching this PC review of Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on GameXplain. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews like this one, and check out the videos on the right for more topics you might be interested in. Until next time, bye. Review copy provided by PlayStation.